Hello! This is a very special story time because it is Gwendolynmas in July! Yay! It's Gwendolynmas in July, July 25th, and Gwendolynmas is my birthday, but that's December 25th, but you can have half birthdays even though I think technically this isn't a half birthday, but math is hard. So it's Gwendolynmas in July. First is my special guest of today. This is Plingo the Flamingo. He's pink, and he's got feeties, one feetie, two feeties, and a body. It's foofy. So my special guest, as usual, is my unicorn hoodie. I can't put the hood up because I got reindeer horns on right now. They're very unstable. So of course my other special guest is my delicious adult beverage. Today my adult beverage is clear, but do not be fooled. It is not water or vodka, because that much vodka would be ridiculous. No, this is a spiked seltzer from a brand name that I am not going to say unless they give me sponsorship. See, it's gonna do it. I also chose a clear adult beverage today because I wanted to highlight how amazing this glass is. These are leaves made of stuff on this glass, and it's awesome. It's from, I wrote it down. It's from Blue Jay Clay, and I'll put a link to their Etsy store in my comments. Go check them out. She makes jewelry and earrings and really awesome cups covered in stuff. Check it out. It makes your drink taste better. Everyone take a drink of your drink. Tastes delicious. So today, in honor of Gwendolynmas in July, I'm going to read a story that I have not read before. So here's the thing with Storytime with Gwendolyn. I don't read the stories until I'm on camera with you guys. So I don't read them in advance or practice or anything. This story is a little bit different because this story was recommended to me by a child at the Arizona Renaissance Festival this year. And he saw my show, The Greek Romantic Tragedy of the Three Little Pigs, which if you haven't, and then he needed to tell me some of the actual facts about that story. And so he told me about this book, The True Story of the Three Little Pigs. So so I basically know the plot of this book, but I have not read this book yet. This child was fantastic, told me the whole plot, took me aside after my show, made sure I understood all the details. And the only thing that's bad about this is I don't remember his name. I think it was Michael or Matthew. I feel like it was a name that could be shortened into a nickname, but it wasn't. And so here's the thing. He's with two adults who I assume are his parents. It's bad to assume that sometimes. And another child, I think his sister. And while we were talking, while Matthew or Michael or unnamed child and I was explaining this book to me, his dad subscribed to my YouTube channel. So, or his adult, male adult. So, okay, so male adult, please, I hope that you watch this. I hope you didn't get bored because I hardly ever put out any videos and unsubscribe. But please comment or send me a message and let me know if I messed up his name horribly. And I will publicly apologize. Okay? This is Plingo the Flamingo. This is my unicorn onesie. This is my adult beverage. Welcome to A Story Time with Gwendolyn. Hashtag Gwendolynmas in July. Hashtag everyone take a drink of your drink. The True Story of the Three Little Pigs by A. Wolfe. As told to Jon, last name, and illustrated by Lane Smith. I love this author. He also wrote a book called The Stinky Cheese Man and Other Fairly Stupid Tales, which I highly recommend. True Story of the Three Little Pigs by A. Wolfe. dedications and copyright information, as long as as well. Everyone take a drink of your drink. ISBN numbers. Everybody knows the story of the three little pigs. Or at least they think they do. I think I do. For sure. But I'll let you in on a little secret. Nobody knows the real story because nobody has ever heard my side of the story. Ooh. I'm the wolf. Alexander T. Wolf. You can call me Al. I don't know how this whole big bad wolf thing got started, but it is all wrong. Maybe it's because of our diet. Hey, it's not my fault wolves eat cute little animals like bunnies and sheep and pigs. That's just the way we are. If cheeseburgers were cute, folks would probably think that you were big and bad too. He doesn't look so big and bad. He got glasses. And that sandwich is too big. Too big for anyone's mouth. Now, if everyone take a drink of your drink. That sandwich has got probably that's a, I guess that might be a pig. It looks like a rat, bunny, sheep's, no sheep, but there's, that looks like a, it looks like a, you know those things, otter. It looks like an otter hands. But like I was saying, the whole big bad wolf thing is all wrong. The real story is about a sneeze and a cup of sugar. And he drew us a handy dandy diagram. This is the real story. I'm so ready. I've been thinking about this since the Arizona Renaissance Festival, which was in February. Way back in Once Upon a Time, I was making a birthday cake for my dear old granny. I had a terrible sneezing cold. I ran out of sugar. It's very nice for him to make a birthday cake for his dear old granny. He's made quite a mess, so I'm glad he's not cooking in my house. He put a bunny in the birthday cake. That's a weird ingredient. So I walked down the street to ask my neighbor for a cup of sugar. Now this neighbor was a pig, and he wasn't too bright either. He had built his whole house out of straw. Can you believe it? I mean, who in his right mind would build a house out of straw? Well, we all know that answer. That's the first little pig. You build a house out of straw. That's what he did. So he's walking. It looks like he's whistling and tossing his sugar cup. He drops that. It's going to get covered in dirt. So, of course, the minute I knocked on the door, it fell right in, the straw door. I didn't want to just walk into someone else's house, so I called, little pig, are you in? No answer. I was just about to go home without the cup of sugar for my dear old granny's birthday cake. That's when my nose started to itch. I felt a sneeze coming on. Well, I huffed and I snuffed, and I showed you this picture really fast so that we can get on to the next part. And I sneezed a great sneeze. The scorpion's in there. That's a pig butt. See it? Inappropriate. And you know what? The whole darn straw house fell down. And right in the middle of the pile of straw was the first little pig. Dead as a doornail. What? Oh no. Oh no. Everyone take a drink of your drink. Arizona Child did not warn me about this part. He had been home the whole time. Dead pig butt. Oh, this is going in a direction I didn't expect. It seemed like a shame to leave a perfectly good ham dinner lying there in the straw, so I ate it up. Think of it as a big cheeseburger just lying there. I have a disagreement with this because cheeseburgers are not made of pig, right? They're made of cow or buffalo or venison, but generally you don't get a pig burger, right? Right, Plingo? Aww. I was feeling a little better, but I still didn't have my cup of sugar, so I went to the next neighbor's house. This neighbor was the first little pig's brother. He was a little smarter, but not much. He had built his house out of sticks. House out of sticks. I rang the bell on the stick house. Nobody answered. I called, "Mr. Pig, Mr. Pig, are you in?" He yelled back, "Go away, wolf, you can't come in. I'm shaving the hairs on my chinny chin chin." It's a time-consuming task for pigs. He has a picture of a butt. I had just grabbed the doorknob when I felt another sneeze coming on. Uh-oh. I huffed and I snuffed and I tried to cover my mouth, but I sneezed a great sneeze. Sneezed it. You're not going to believe it, but this guy's house fell down just like his brother's. When the dust cleared, there was the second little pig, dead as a doornail. Wolf's honor. Another pig butt. With sticks silverware around it. Now you know food will spoil if you just leave it out in the open, so I did the only thing there was to do. I had dinner again. Think of it as a second helping. I was getting awfully full, but my cold was feeling a little better, and I still didn't have that cup of sugar for my dear old granny's birthday cake. This guy was the first and second little pig's brother. He must have been the brains of the family. He had built his house out of sticks. I knocked on the brick house. No answer. I called, "Mr. Pig, Mr. Pig, are you in?" And do you know what that rude little porker answered? "Get out of here, wolf. Don't bother me again." Yelled it through maybe that tiny little fingerdeal. Tiny little door in the door. It's a doorception. Everyone take a drink of your drink. Talk about impolite. He probably had a whole sack full of sugar, and he wouldn't give me even one little cup for my dear, sweet old granny's birthday cake. What a pig! I was just about to go home and maybe make a nice birthday card instead of a cake when I felt my cold coming on. I huffed, and I snuffed, and I sneezed once again. Then the third little pig yelled, "And your old granny can sit on a pin!" Look at that pig's eyes! He's evil. Evil pig. Now, I'm usually a pretty calm fellow, but when somebody talks about my granny like that, I go a little crazy. When the cops drove up, of course I was trying to break down this pig's door, and the whole time I was huffing and puffing and sneezing and making a real scene. Look at all the people that showed up for this. Is that guy's nose, and those two things, and this person, and then this pig shadow, and a microphone, and so that's the news media. And then there's this trough of water that's all splashy, and there's fire coming out of the chimney, and there's fire coming out of his nose. He's a fire-breathing wolf. He's a dragon wolf. Wolf dragon. Everyone take a drink of your drink. The rest, as they say, is history. Newspaper history. That's probably preserved on microfiche. The news reporters found out about the two pigs I had for dinner. They figured a sick guy going to borrow a cup of sugar didn't sound very exciting. So they jazzed up the story with all of that huff and puff and blow your house down, and they made me the big bad wolf. That's it. The real story. I was framed. He's in jail. That's how you can tell from the stripes. But maybe you could loan me a cup of sugar? In jail? And then That says pig. Oh, I bet it stands for pig penitentiary. That's a good word. That guy's having none of this. And he has since grown a beard. That shows the passage of time. Well, there's all kinds of that on the back. This was fantastic. Oh, the scenes of the crime, the little houses. Huh? There's too many pig butts on this. I got distracted. But I am really, really glad to know that some of the details that I had in my story are questionable. And maybe things didn't happen the way that I remember it. And there's two sides to every story. That's a good moral. And that's the only moral in this story, maybe. Because he eats dead pigs that are just lying around. That's weird. Can I name all these? There's the bun, and then there's a fried green tomato, and a lettuce, and a tomato, and maybe that's like smashed avocado, and then that, oh man, I don't know, that's pickles, that's another bread. Let's go with, that's like, oh, that's the otter's body. That looks different, so maybe it's not an otter. And then there's a wedge of brie, and there's some leafy vegetable, and then that's probably mayonnaise and a little bit of onion and some bread and lettuce and tomato and cheese and bread and ketchup and a little bit of pickle, and that's a bunny. Forgot about that guy's nose. Maybe that's a mouse because it's got whiskers. And then, where was I? Ketchup, that guy, and then more bread. There's a lot of bread in this, lots of carbs. That, I'm going to say, is honey mustard. And the tail of this guy, probably a ferret. And then some red stuff. Let's see, that might be more tomato, another pickle. That's barbecue sauce right there. And then there's probably some kind of organic kind of seed deliciousness in there. And then lettuce and cheese in the mouse butt. And that is a piece of eggplant. Fried eggplant, and that's the top of the bun. So, lords and ladies, that was the true story of the Three Little Pigs as told to Jon Scieszka, who's amazing, illustrated by Lane Smith, and by A. Wolf. That's Alexander T. Wolf. This has been my unicorn onesie. This has been Plingo the Flamingo, who has joined us, and I'm glad no flamingos were harmed in the writing or telling of this story. Was fantastic, as recommended to me by my friend Michael or Matthew or Michaela, or I feel like it was an M name, but I might be wrong. And enjoy celebrating Gwendolynmas in July, because there's never a wrong time for Gwendolynmas. Maybe I'll make that a t-shirt. I'll talk to you all soon. Look for me on my Facebook page, facebook.com/Gwendolyn Show. I'm coming to a lot of different festivals near a lot of different people this year and next year. So check it out and check back on this channel for more videos. Everyone take a drink of your drink.